Hello there, thanks for being here. Hopefully you could hear me. We're just gonna give everyone a few minutes to get ready. Really important to try to be on time so that we run this on time. If you're part of Team A or Team B, just make sure your presentation is ready. Team B already has the slides down, but if there's any additional information that you need to add or things that you want to change, make sure that you update and revise your presentation. Hello, Mauricio.
Hi everyone.
Hi. Great
How's
energy.
everything going?
Pretty good. I'm pretty
I'm
excited.
sorry for being late. I was in another call last night. I'm so sorry.
That's
All the guys.
okay. Perfectly fine. We're still waiting for the rest of Team A and B to arrive. However, because this is a time-based event, we're gonna have to move forward with the agenda if you don't mind. So to kick things off, I'm just gonna start the agenda so that we have time for setting up the presentation, delivering the presentation, and also giving feedback. So make sure that if your teammates are on their way, let them know that we're starting the session and it's really important for them to be here. If they're not able to attend, that's totally fine. The recordings, you can get it if you are a subscriber. So if you want to get some feedback from this, check out the video recordings for this event. And also, if you submitted your work through the submission form, that is used for feedback on your process. So if you're a little bit unclear about how we're doing things today, we're going to give you feedback today on your presentation and how you deliver. And we're also going to look at your process work that you submitted. Okay? So after this session, Mauricio is going to give you a little bit more feedback on the process work. We're going to give you an email to let you know that the comments are ready to be reviewed. Okay? So is that clear so far? Everyone could hear me and they got that information? Just give me a thumbs up if everything's okay. Hey, thumbs up. Awesome. All right, so I'm going to start the agenda. So we already kind of like settled in, but let's also give some time for Mauricio to introduce himself. So Mauricio, would you like to say hi and talk a little bit about yourself?
Hi, I'm new in this application, so sorry about that. Try to discover how it works. But anyways, my name is Morcio. I'm from Colombia. For the past 10 years, I've been working on UX UI, basically doing more about growing. And I used to work for two unicorns here in Colombia. One is for delivery called Rappi. The other one is Javi, and it's a prop tech. And right now I'm working for Citibank, is a sub product from Citibank. And yeah, the idea here is having fun and see the projects and support anything that I can help. I'm here.
Absolutely. And if you want to follow Mauricio, he's on LinkedIn. You could click on this link here. You could also give him a chat, and he could also help answer some questions for you after this event. So Christina says that the images are blurry. The images look okay to me. I'm not sure. Maybe it could be the resolution, or it could be just the images aren't just like loading properly for you. Or maybe this part is blurry. I see what you mean here. It's
Oh,
okay.
really? For me, it's, like, completely, like, I see nothing.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Uh,
maybe it's taking a while to process on your end. Um,
oh, okay, I'll just upload the rest then, I
yeah, it
guess.
looks perfect. Thank you.
Oh,
All right, we're just gonna give Team A a couple of minutes to just get their presentation ready. In the meantime, who is here from Team B? Is it Brian? Hi, I need you to unmute your mics. We need to talk. Or use the.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's okay.
don't have access on the mirror.
Yep, I'm giving you access right now.
Thank you very much.
Hi, Brian.
Hello?
Right. Yes, we can hear you. Hi. So, is your team ready to present, or do you need some time?
I believe I think it's gonna be Subam or it could be Hansel who's gonna present, and I'm looking at the mirror right now. It's kind of blurry in my end.
Okay. Do you want to try refreshing? And also, when it comes to team presentations, do you think you can get any of your team members here to be right now?
Sure.
Okay, Hansel's here. That's good. Hi, Hansel. How are you?
The delay coming in.
Yep, thanks for joining us. So what's your plan for Team B? How are you going to present?
We have a Figma screen,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll be able to present like on the screen here with everybody here. Is that okay? Just having the Figma screen
Well, I think
with.
for giving feedback, we need you to show the slide deck and to kind of walk us through your solution. And because of the time constraints, we won't be able to jump into the prototype. Is that understood?
Understood. We have
Yeah.
presentation slides as well, but that wouldn't be a problem.
Okay. Don't worry about the prototype stuff because I think Mauricio will be able to see it from the submission that you gave to us. And what we'll do is we'll leave some feedback in a spreadsheet for your team, and we'll send you an email with a link so that you can have a look at it after this session. Okay? So don't worry, we're going to look at everything. We're going to look at your presentation and we're going to look at your prototype and give you feedback on both. Okay?
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Do you need any time to prepare, or do you think you're ready to present now?
I do need just a few minutes to pull up the URL.
Yeah, no problem.
Would it be possible for Team A to present, or is it specifically for Team B to present?
I think Team A is still setting up.
Got it.
So Christina, is your team joining you today, or is it just you for today?
Not sure. I know, unfortunately, a lot of people had to drop out. But I don't know if the two others are making it. I'll message them in Discord right now.
Okay. Yeah, I sent a link in the group chat, so I think everyone should have the link, and the emails were sent. So I believe everyone should have the reminder that we were starting today. Okay. Do you still need time to prepare your presentation?
Honestly, there was a lot of miscommunication, so this was kind of scrambled last minute, so I think this is kind of all I have to talk about.
Yeah, that's okay. And
Yeah.
it's great that you managed to get so much done in such a small amount of time. So we appreciate that. Like, this is no easy task. It's very challenging.
Yeah.
But we'll basically we'll go through Team B's presentation first. Then we'll go for yours.
Okay.
And in between team presentations, we'll have time to discuss a little bit more about what kind of happened today and also some feedback, just so that we have a good understanding of how we can improve ourselves after the session. Okay?
Okay.
Alrighty. So I'm going to set the timer for Team B. And because this is sort of like a shorter session, we'll have to be careful with time. So we're gonna give 10 minutes to Team B to finish their presentation, and after that we'll have like about 10 to 15 minutes for feedback. Okay? So I believe Team B should be ready. Hansel and Brian is here, and so is Sobham. Feel free
Great.
to start when you're ready.
Sure. Let me see. It's just Melanie, would it be possible to see where I'm able to share the screen on Miro?
I believe everyone should be able to see Miro right now. Is anyone
Okay.
not seeing Miro?
I just put in the request to share the screen. If I'm
Okay. Cause oh, okay. Sure, let's do that.
perfect. Let me see. Let me see if I could get into it. Okay. All right. I think it should be visible on your end. Just let
Right.
me know if it's not. But all right. Let me present for our team here. Okay, so for our team, the one thing we noticed is that with the idea of having this platform to identify misinformation, we needed to think a little bit more outside the box. So the original approach was having it through an extension on a desktop, which would be the first phase. But we stepped back a little bit and I tried to identify the problem to get back to the core root of the problem. And this is how it started, in being able to identify the information, which we thought it would be best at this point because of not being familiar with the restrictions with technology on the browser end and how that would be possible. We just felt that maybe the app will allow us being able to approach the misguided information from an app point of view. So with this, the problem is that there's a lot of misinformation out there when we browse the websites online, and this is a solution that we thought, and we named our application Loop for news coverage and media identification with the content on that. Essentially, these are two screens that showcase what the app would look like and being able to identify information that users come across online. These are key insights that we noticed from the research that we were able to do. One of our research one of our participants was able to have information gathered from research through some peers, and these are informations that we were able to find with some of those conversations.
So sorry to interrupt, but on the share screen, we're just seeing a very zoomed out version of the presentation, and we can't really see the details. Is there a possibility that you could switch back to the Miro and just we could follow your cursor that way?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Is it too small?
Yeah, it
Is
is.
Let me see. I'm gonna share this tab. Does that make a difference?
Yeah, actually that works. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Thank you for letting me know. I didn't realize it. Okay, not a problem. So I'll move on to the next section. This is the persona that we were able to identify through one of the um, key points in the beginning of our challenge, named Barry. I'll just move straight forward to the solutions. So one of the solutions that we were able to identify was being able to figure out how to fact check some of it, and once we were able to fact check it, how to identify that. And essentially, the app will allow us to have a feature where we're able to have the content through the app. In other words, have specific articles through the app that will be curated with our team, and also fact checked through talent and collaboration with academia, professionals in the field of that topic, and be able to cross reference that along with our team. Second feature we figured would be best is if we were able to identify the misinformation. This is one example through COVID-19 and being able to have different screens. The first screens is essentially the website that the user would be browsing through the app, and through that, they'll be able to get an alert here if there's content misinformed. And then from there, On to the next screen here, there's more content here that can provide facts are being verified.
Can you hear me? Can I present this
Yes.
screen? Like,
Yes.
I think you're missing some things. Okay. Can you present
Oh
it?
yes, please feel free to jump in.
Okay, okay. So what happens in this screen is that let's just say first of all, I was thinking about this what do you call it? Like this badge over here, which shows like danger. Okay, I didn't want it to be so intrusive that it will kind of block your like experience when you're browsing something. So I kept it small, and this is like a badge. You know, you can drag it left and right, and if you bring it like bottom down, it will show a cross button, and you can just remove it. So this is present if you want, and this is not present if you don't want it. So this will let you know, okay, this site is not safe. And when you click on this, the second page will come basically. And second page will show, okay, this is this and this is this, and this will show, okay, there are some web sources. So what you can do is basically, uh, hey Brian, can you, sorry Hansel, can you just escape this? I can use Miro basically, so it will be easier for
Perfect.
me.
Right then. So with
Yeah,
that
yeah,
case, I'll stop sharing on my end
yeah, yeah.
and
Just do that.
Instagram. There you go.
Yeah, wait, hold on. Where is the screen? Melanie, where is the screen? Like Miro board?
Okay. Let me just bring it back.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sorry, I wasn't sure if you were doing another share screen.
No, 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 no share screen. I want to use the
Okay.
Miro board.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Nice. So where were we? Yeah, this page. Okay. So this section over here will come up if you click on this button basically. Now, there are some web sources which you can read from. So if you click on this, it will take you to some pages. Then, okay, I want to read upon this, whether this is even correct or not. And this can lead you to what the fact is basically. This is a verified by section, which will show you the people who are registered in this app and are reputed. So these are maybe the people you have hired to fact check this, and you can click on this and see the credentials of these people and check whether they are actually good or not.
Sorry to interrupt. It's
Yeah.
taking a while for the screen to load. So I just
Oh,
want to double
okay.
check with everyone. Can everyone see the Miro board and follow Subham?
I'm in the mirror bar. I mean,
Okay.
I'm not in the.
Can you see it? This one?
Yes, I could see
Yes,
it. Good.
I could see it.
Okay, okay. Okay, okay,
Indeed.
okay. Okay. So this one, uh, this is when you see a bad basically website, like some misinformation sharing website. If this is like this, basically a green tick mark, then you will assume that, okay, this is nice and this is verified. So let's just say people have reported this, okay, and there is a conversation going on whether basically this is a good website or not. So if you click on this, this will show, okay, these are the web sources that people may have shared. So if people have reported this and they have had the conversation, and then they will share this to basically mark this as safe. Basically, this third one over here. Hold on, let me just remove this. Yeah. So this is a loop sign, which is basically our what do you call it, like our logo basically. So this is not verified. I wanted to use something else, but this was by a different member, so I just used it. This is unverified basically. So you know the, okay, this site over here is unverified. You can trust it or you can not trust it, but we are not guaranteeing anything. This is from our side. But if you click on this, then you can basically report, comment on this website using our app. So if you come over here, this is our third, basically feature number 3. So if you click on this, you can scan this by using AI for misinformation. So it will take up a minute, and then what happens is this will show, okay, possible misinformation section, and this will give context and possible sources of facts. Everything is a possibility right now. We are not saying, we are not trying to basically bias. We are letting people know that this may happen, and if a lot of people report this as misinformation, and people in our end who are like really reputed people report this, then this will go to basically a site which is sharing misinformation. So after you report this, after a lot of people report this, this will basically be shared. And in this report section, what you can see is that This is a part where you actually comment, and this is a uh, like reputable source area where you can share links because of which you believe that this page over here is sharing misinformation. So this is that. Uh, hey Hansel, can you take over now this feature 4?
Let me see.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so I'll just continue
yeah.
on the
Use
same
this.
mirror board.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
This specific feature number 4 is the profile setting of the user. And with this profile setting, you're able to control the notifications on the applications with your specific interest of mind of the content. Um, right here, the second screen allows for you to see the flagged websites whenever you're on the browser, as well as being able to sync it to other platforms and the devices. This last section here with the interest settings also gives you the content specific topics and what information you're able to see through the platform here. So that customization, personalization of the content and what you want to see through the app is something that we thought was useful. Moving on to feature number 5. Let me see. Mm. Subham, I'm not too familiar with this one on the feature number 5 on it.
Oh, Hansel, this was designed by you and Melissa, right? So I am not sure how you did that. Those
Mm.
previous ones were done by me, so I shared that.
Oh, okay. So let me see. With this one, because we do have a different screen for it. There was a little bit more to the screen for the group
Okay.
to know. But this feature, let me see. I would need to swing over to our Figma um, in order for me to showcase that one. But essentially, that feature was the process of how the app would go from the beginning of the consumption, and it was animation through the steps of what the screens would be to the next screen and how the information would be verified. So it was essentially showing the animations through the beginning towards the end on it. And what we see here on the screen on the mirror board is just a screenshot of the first screen. That's why it's a little bit incomplete with this JPEG here.
You can just present it again. Just go to Figma and present it. The prototype is ready.
Okay, let me see. So I'll just share the screen then.
Yeah.
Okay, putting in the request to share the screen. Let's see. I just, okay, thank you. Okay, so I'll just share the screen again right now. Let's see. I believe I'm on the screen itself. Is everybody able to see this tab that says feature 5?
I'm seeing them.
Nope, we're still loading.
Oh, let's
It's
see.
okay. I had a look at the prototype the night before.
Mm-hmm.
I know not everyone here had a chance to look at it, but because we're kind of short on time, we could still comment on your presentation and also your ideas. Um, I think
Okay.
for your team, you only have 15 minutes. It's about 14 minutes right now. Is it all right if we go back to the mural board and just have a conversation about your product, and then you could explain and answer some questions?
Yeah, no problem. Thank
Yeah,
you for that. Okay.
no problem. Thank you very much. It's looking really good. Really impressed with the visuals. It's a very great presentation deck, slide deck that you got going. Okay, so right now we're gonna do a little bit of feedback time. So let's just give it a second to let Mural load up again. still loading on my side, so I'll let you know. Okay. Um, Alrighty. So I think I got the screen back up now. Right. So I think I had left some questions here. I believe some of them were already addressed. Um, but I think, okay, my first question would be, before we get into more feedback, is what was everyone's roles? I just want to be clear on like who did research and who did some of the wireframes. So were most of the wireframes split between Hansel and Subham and Melissa? Like, was everyone doing design in this project?
For the UX research, okay, we split the four things between. So I did survey and I did the IA, and he did basically the interview and one more thing. I don't remember what it was, but he did one more thing. And Melanie and Hansel did the basically the branding part of this. Okay, so
Okay.
finding the forms and everything. They did some screens and I did some screens.
Okay.
So that's pretty much it. Yeah, I did
Okay.
both UI and UX research both. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. And for the key insights, do you know how many people were surveyed or whether or not you interviewed any of these users?
If you want, I can drop it. Hello? Can you
Hi.
hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah. Yeah, I said 24 people were surveyed basically for this one.
Okay, I see.
And one interview we did by Brian.
Okay, one interview. Very good.
Yeah.
And what did you learn from the interview? What were some interesting things that you weren't expecting?
So interview part was done by Brian. I think he can explain it better than me.
Yeah, of course.
Interview my friend specifically. I found like his answers very interesting. He like during the research, he pretty much mentioned about like the Twitter fact check function, um, about how kind of convenient for him to use like the Twitter, like the Twitter fact check, seeing if it's like verified or not. That is something I kind of um, like kind of like put into my knowledge, to my notes. He also talks about like how misinformation kind of like inform or kind of like spread to like his community, and it didn't really help at all, especially when that misinformation kind of like kind of engraved to like people's mind when it's not like that's not like the actual results, or like the actual truth to it. So like he pretty much just mentioned like he does kind of hope that there's like a good way to verify any fact checks. And he also mentioned about like, because I asked him a question about I forgot the question, but he kind of answered in a way that he kind of have like, if there's no fact check functions, like how do you verify it? And he kind of like say, hey, I would go to like a third party website, maybe like the .gov website, this and that, and I did like a follow up where I was like, that how do you feel about that, like going to the third party? And he was like, he feels kind of annoyed to like have to like verify it like outside to his website, which kind of like loses incentive to um like look at the news report. So like he preferred to just, he'd rather have like a built-in function like inside of the app, instead of like going to the third party
Okay,
website to it.
got it. Okay. That's clear. It makes sense, and it kind of relates to their experience and how they naturally try to fact check things in a quicker way, in a more efficient way. And it looks like you consider that into the features here as a team. Okay, so I understand little bit about the user, and I guess when it comes to the product itself, I have a question about this feature. It looks like sort of like an Instagram story or like a TikTok video, but how exactly does this feature work in debunking or verifying that this video is a real news source?
I I can talk on that,
Mm-hmm.
Malini. With that one in our conversations, we were thinking about how this feature would potentially be uh, sourced on the actual app itself on the platform.
Mm-hmm.
And through that, either it's going to be connected to one of the main media platforms that are known throughout the nation, like for example CNN, and it'll be like a Vox style type of feed where we're able to either, and we haven't gone to specifics on whether it would be live, and then this fact checked would be shown up with commentary through a person analyzing and giving their commentary through this live version of it, or whether it would be like a document style type of media where it's already pre-taped, pre-edited, and then through the website itself, the AI of cross-referencing what we have on our database would be able to cross-reference those points through this documentary. So this feature was either going to be implemented in live or in documentary, but we didn't go into specifics on that. It was just showcasing the fact that we're able to cross-reference and give fact checks as it's being viewed.
Okay. I think there might be some unclarity here, and it's okay. It's just something to keep in mind for next time. Depending on where you're getting the source from, if it's from social media, it would be very difficult to maybe fact check videos just because the nature of like videos is very difficult to prove whether a video is actually true or false in terms of like relating it to a news story. But if it's sourced from a political source, like a news site as well, that would be interesting to see how that would be done. If you're getting it from a social media platform, then it depends on like what you're allowed to do with their API. But if you're sourcing it from other news sites, then I guess it could be something that you could explore, like do some more research on to see whether there is possibility that like inconsistencies in the news could be done through video, like misleading content through video. But if the video is accompanying with a fact check article, then maybe that's a case where your video could still be strengthened here. Like if you include this as part of your product, you could still fact check and verify it in some way. Yeah, that's really good. As for visual, like UI, I think the text here, and this may seem nitpicky, but it's just really important to be considerate about accessibility, especially on mobile screens. The text here is very small, and we want to make sure that your application can be legible and readable to all users. So make sure that the font size is above 16 pixels, nothing smaller than that. And other things that I have to say about this one, I guess my question is, why is this highlighted in red? I'm curious to know why you made that decision. Or whoever made that decision.
That specific screen was a combination of two ideas that was put on this slide. This screen was same technology, being able to identify information through an article on online. So the first screen with the play is the content through video. The second one is using the same AI, being able to identify it, but through an article or URL.
Okay. I don't have anything to say about that for now. But Mauricio, do you have any thoughts? Because I know I've been talking a lot. Is there anything that you want to focus on or talk about?
Yeah, from all the information that you sent before, guys, The first step is I drop here a normal news and group article about research. The next time is suggest and they explain why you only need to test only with 5 users. And in a nutshell, basically, it's because you see the same behavior of the user at the number 5. So instead of interviewing like 20 users or so on, the idea is just to have batch of different information that you want to tackle and just with 5 users. That's the first thing. The second one is on the key insight, please. The next time, if you can, just drop information here, like about how many user or where this that information was taken
Mm-hmm.
or so on.
Mm-hmm.
So key insights. Okay, I have the data, and then I drop just okay. We have this information based on the information of the user and so on. So basically, that's sorry for being picky, but sometimes you have those case study that you have those information about the persona. Would be great to. I'm not saying that user personas and user journey doesn't work because it works, but next time if you can put information about an archetype of the persona, will be more value for the company or for the feature and so on, because an archetype of the persona can bring to you information that is not so simple or so vague. So for example, if we put like very 22 barista, is not the same demographic that very 22 from Colombia or from North America and so on. So when we delete the the age or the millennials or the centennials and so on, and we more focus on the behavior of the persona, is useful, really useful. In that particular case, will be great to have more an archetype instead of a persona. Beside that, really fast because I know that we are jumping on time. The text, really important. I see here a comment like where does the user exit? So it's only just to have a nav bar, the same nav bar for an old experience. We need to make sure that the user needs to learn about the application between all the application or old experience. So if you provide to the user the same experience and the same information about how to tackle every information, it's
Mm-hmm.
easier to the user like learn about that. So if we delete the navbar here, maybe it's confused for the user. Typography is really important, and also the size of the balloons. I will see later the Figma file, so no worries about that. But I'm assuming about the size, and that's just an assumption. So would be great to have like a 42 pixels at least for every balloon. So for example, here I see balloons and I see information that I can tap, and I'm not sure about the size. So for example, the like or the dislike or the comment, I don't know if the 42 is the size, is because the tone. So if you see in the internet, you can tap here on Google that says the minimal size is 42, but you can be between 52 or 62. Is it depend of the region, it depend of the public and so on. Uh, Beside that, I mean, it's a beautiful start. It works really well. I got the idea. The most important thing is about to express what the application do, and in this case, it's really clear what it do. But something really important is to understand what is the call to action about the experience. What is the most important thing about the experience? So, and again, we have a phone here, and we need to understand that this finger is the finger that control most of the application. So if we have the button of information right there in the corner, it's really difficult to have the information. Exactly the same happened here. As I have the description in the fact checks, and then I have the information of the action items here. So if I cannot remember because I don't have TikTok and I have Instagram like 1 week ago. So, but I don't remember if TikTok have it on the corner. But I'm assuming, and that's just an assumption. Please correct me if I'm wrong. that maybe the information is here on the bottom. So it's more about to understand how the doesn't matter if it's an application, an XR application, mobile, desktop, or whatever. It's more before creating a product. It's more about how the user will interact with that device and what's the easiest way to interact. So if you put me the buttons here, it's really complex, but if you put me on the button, it's easier to understand. The font is really important, so don't miss that. And I have so many call to action different ways. So this call to action is square, and this call to action is transparent, and the other call to action is I have this type of call to actions, and then I have those like logout call to action square sharp. So to have a language about how the user will interact with the language about the call to action, because this is sharp and this is rounded,
Mm-hmm.
this is more like a peel and this is sharp like a flat button. But then I have this call to action with transparent. So to have a language on the design will be great to have it on that next iteration. But beside that, is really, and this is spot on, it's really important, this source of truth. Like if you don't want to misunderstand the information, you need to have a web source of truth and verify by some people. And at this point, if we want to avoid the misinformation, my question is something like, why this don't have a reference, knowing that those people are PhD, or knowing that the core of the business or the core of the feature is like you have the verification, okay, about who people, okay, these people are a PhD graduate or MIT or Harvard students. So I'm assuming that maybe the user find this more important than seeing information that is verified or not, because at the end of the day, this is more about critical thinking. And I'm assuming this is more like, okay, I want to get to know what is the sort of truth of who is pulling the verification, more about the information. This information is verified by who, and maybe to clarify to the user more in a spot way, like, okay, this is the I don't know, Pascal is the sort of through the information, so I know that I can read the entire document because he's a genius. So in a high level, that's it. After this session, as Melanie mentioned before, the idea is I will take the Figma file, drop some comments, information about accessibility, Nielsen Norman Group, and so other genius of the UX about best practice on the field. Beside that, congratulations, looks really really good.
Yes, thank you very much. And yeah, I agree exactly with what you were saying, Mauricio. A lot of good points, and I like how you touched on everything that was pretty much key and central. Um, I know it's like a time crunch, and we started a little bit late today, but I left some sticky notes on the presentation that are sort of like prompts and also things that I pointed out that might be something that you might want to consider. We don't have time to go through everything, but I left those notes there, including some references and some tools that I think might be helpful for you when it comes to accessibility, checking contrast, also checking other websites to do research and understand how they approach accessibility. I left these links here for your team to kind of look at so that after the session you have more knowledge and more ways to kind of reiterate this design if you want to put this in your portfolio. But this has been like a great idea. I've looked at this project. I talked with Claire about Team B. You guys did really well. This is really good. Hope you feel proud of yourself, feel accomplished. I really hope that you make this into like a case study that you put in your portfolios. It would be really awesome if you get a job and stuff and say that, yeah, this helped you. Yeah, so do we have any kind of like comments or feedback from Team A about Team B's presentation?
Melanie, can I
Yes.
ask a question?
Yeah, sure.
Mauricio, can you tell me what exactly in this section you wanted me to do? I kind of didn't understand. Like, What did you want me to do over this in this area, like verified and sources?
Sorry about that. So I'm finding, and just it's just my personal opinion, that if I want to make sure that this information is real or is not,
Yeah. Hmm.
when you say verify by or web source, so it works exactly the same like social media. When you getting know that you have that verification mark, you know that that person is real. But
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
so, yeah, so for example, if I know that that person have a PhD or is a really important person, maybe we can change that verify by an avatar in more an eye-catchy way. Like, okay, I can identify in less than 5 seconds is verified by who. So
Okay.
instead of reading all the information, I can maybe have a pill or avatar or a description, short description about this information was verified by who. So I have the information here. Everyone, everywhere should have access of COVID-19, and then beside refresh or maybe in a clear way about who was the author or who was the verified information about who is the company or whatever, like a
Mhm.
clear real clear way, because right now we are focusing about information. So the idea
Mhm.
is not to put it at the bottom like, okay, this is the information that I don't care, because the information about this feature of the application or whatever is to get to know about what is the source of truth in the less time as possible.
Okay.
Because that's the pain that we have the user. So 83% of the people don't have the right information. So how to have the less percentage of that information is to get to know about, okay, before reading the article, who was the author, and basically that's it. To put it most in a catchy way. I don't know if I was clear. Sorry about
No,
that.
no, no, you are correct. No, no, you're correct. Don't worry.
Thank you.
Yeah, I second
Okay.
that. That's important with visual hierarchy and also helping users to make quick and rapid decisions. It helps to put the most important information where it's going to be visible and recognized instantly by our users. But yeah, that is a good catch. I totally agree. Okay, so do we have any more questions for Mauricio? No? Okay. Awesome. All right, so let's move on to Team A. I know the names of the agendas is incorrect, but it's okay. We're just gonna go with it. The timing is all the same. Uh, is Christina still here with us?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, okay, cool. Um, yeah, like I said, unfortunately, there was some miscommunication, so I don't have a very long presentation to give.
Mm-hmm.
But from what we have, we started off with researching competitors and some existing surveys and making our own survey that we posted on Reddit. There's a Reddit thread that, a lot of people kind of answers each other's surveys. And from the results, we had 3 Reddit users and 2 of my friends do it. And the age bracket was like 20s to early 30s. And we found that people preferred to have some sort of fact checking system and that they liked using news apps over social media for their news. Um, and not from our survey results, but just researching online and reading forums. A lot of people liked comparison news and seeing all sides of a story. And the competitors, a lot of it was either comparison news or just a fact checking source. So I wanted to put both tools into one app. And so in the fact checking section, you would see if a story was true or not. And I think this would have a bit more of a human element to it. I think there would be like a dedicated team kind of researching the source and telling you if it was false or not. And in the compare stories, it would be sourced from different news sources from like the left, center, and right. And you would just kind of swipe the card to see each side of the story, and it would be easier for users to compare. And yeah, that's kind of mostly it. These colors were chosen because, you know, these are like the political party colors. And yeah, I tried, besides the news source, I tried making all the font 16 and above and sans serif because I know that's the easiest to read. And yeah, that's really it.
All right. So thank you for that presentation. I know it isn't easy. I kind of jumped into the Team A's group chat at some point and tried to help you guys out. I think when it comes to team presentation, and I'll just say this right away, it's super important for teams to communicate. Not
Yeah.
saying that it's anyone's fault or anything like that. Everyone's trying their best, I understand. But when it comes to time management, communication, it helps to, set some goals with your team to figure out, okay, what are we going to complete next? How are we going to prioritize research? When teams do that, they tend to do better. People aren't working in silos where they're working individually all on their own. Just like try to schedule some time to kind of meet up more frequently